Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Centre Circle podcast, number 50.
Big up.
The big 5-0. It's gone quick, if you ask me.
Yeah, it has, man.
Joining me today are Isaac, Daz, and Keith. Terrell, after rolling the grenade, has decided to take a bit of a vacation. So
You had to escape the country after that Klopp comment.
yeah.
To be honest.
Clearly, I think.
So what, we don't get to introduce ourselves today.
Huh?
We don't get to introduce ourselves today. Just
Yeah, you can do. All right, go on then.
What's happening? It's Isaac.
What's that? That's in the building, people.
Man, like Keith.
Before we get into it, as always, please remember to subscribe, share, like, and I would say leave your comments, but as this week has shown, you don't need any encouragement to do that. So keep them coming.
Not at all.
Have
Let's
a think
go.
before you type. Would also be good. But yeah, keep them coming. This weekend, another twist and turn in the Prem. We'll talk about City's game with Chelsea. How Ange did with Wolves. Arsenal put on another showdown at Burnley. Someone has decided to finally arrive in the Liverpool shirt. And Manchester United are starting to put some points on the board. So, Chelsea. Surprising. They surprised me.
Nah, they step up against the better teams.
They played really well.
We've been
Yeah.
saying that all
Played
season.
really
Yeah.
well.
And I did say when City buck a better team, they might not do as well. They've been rolling over the teams since they came back from the World Club Cup.
Yeah, but
Enough said.
Chelsea aren't a better team.
Agreed.
That's the thing.
Agreed.
No, they are.
should be.
They're not.
They're
They
not,
are.
man.
They're not, man.
What's better about it? What like that? All the stats or everything they've showed us doesn't show they're one of the better teams. They might up their performance level
Yeah,
against the better teams, but
And
they're not
okay,
getting the results.
They got better players.
Yeah,
than
against
what
a
them
team
other
who
teams
could-
got.
go essentially toe to toe with them, essentially.
I don't know, man.
I wasn't surprised
You weren't surprised?
at all because, like we've said many times before, against the big teams, the top 6 teams, they perform well. It's like added motivation. Oh, we're playing a bigger team.
Yeah,
We've got to up our game, and
That's
then
poor, man.
it is very poor. It is shocking. As a professional footballer, your only motivation comes from playing teams that
Shot
are
window, isn't it?
Yes. Good shout.
No, what you're saying? They're
seriously.
paying for moves already. Yeah?
No, they've got 8-year contracts. You don't want to move off of that.
Boy,
you ain't getting a better contract than what Chelsea's got you
you
on.
might want more of a move now that you're there. You realise I've got another 7 years of this.
Yeah, it's a long time.
So yeah, I'm not surprised. I genuinely thought it'd be at the very least a draw. I thought
Really?
they could have nicked it going in before the game.
Oh,
Before the game?
Before
Wow.
the game. Yeah, I thought they could. They
Really?
could nick it.
That's what do you think? What were
Complete
you thinking
surprise.
before?
Before
Yeah.
the game, I was expecting Chelsea to get absolutely torn
Same.
apart.
Same.
Because obviously they've had good performances against the traditional Big Six clubs, but most of those have been at home. So this is going away. That's completely different. I expect them to get battered, but they were impressive. So I think they could have won it.
No,
But I think that the amount of chances they had,
yeah.
if they'd done a bit more up front, was a bit more clinical and had a bit more composure in front of goal,
Agreed.
they could have had 2 or 3 easily.
Agreed. And Jackson encapsulated that for me. Like the chance he had came across, lack of composure, fumbles a touch. Then he does a lovely touch and then pass.
And
for Sterling's
Raheem
goal.
as well. He had
Yeah,
one
he had
yeah,
one.
he had
So,
the one-on-one, didn't he?
we're talking about 3, if you include their goal, 3 chances that you know a decent composed strike force would take, and then we're talking shock. But then Haaland had a few chances as well, didn't he, Keith? He had
Yeah, he had a hat-trick of chances, didn't it, pretty much?
Yeah, but some of them were a bit.
Yeah, I think the header was
The
the,
header.
most
Oh, the header.
guilt
You have to
edge.
score
Like
that.
he should
You have to score
scored
that.
that. You would have banked
that's
him
bread and
to.
butter for him, no?
Mm.
Yeah, you would have banked him to score that one. The other 2 were a bit.
The one where
half
Foden
chances.
crossed it, put it across the box.
Yeah.
It was at such
Awkward
an awkward height.
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
was kind of like I don't think Haaland was expecting it that quickly.
Yeah.
I think he thought maybe calm it and then put the ball in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
That was
because
a
he's
hard
hit,
chance.
It
Yeah,
was.
because
Very
he's
hard
hit
chance.
such a high standard, anything that falls to him in and around the box, you kind of half expect him to at least trouble the goalkeeper,
Yeah.
etc. And he never. But yeah, Chelsea, they done well, man. Like my only gripe with Chelsea is that they retreated too early in the second half. I think it was like the 65th minute when they went 5 at the back. And you're just like a team like
trying to soak up
City,
the pressure.
you can't invite pressure for that long.
And then he makes who did he took off
Palmer, Sterling, and
on the 71st minute. I can't remember who took off, and he brings on Chalobah. So you bring on a right back, centre back for one of your attacking players. I said, no, you've packed
That's
it.
when he went to the 5 at the back.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he done that to try and nullify De Bruyne gets into that pocket. But De Bruyne still was walking into that pocket and no one was getting him. I'm thinking, what was the point of going to 5 and not telling the third centre back you follow De Bruyne? They're still bringing a midfielder down there. So
would you man mark De Bruyne if you was a manager?
100%.
Nah.
What for the full game?
Yeah.
So like who was that Chelsea? No, Ferguson.
It's like when
Herrera on Hazard.
When Herrera on Hazard,
Yeah.
or when
Park.
no, what was his name?
Oh,
Anderson. When Anderson marked Gerrard out the game.
I would only do it if I had a specialist like her who could do it.
Yeah.
So if I had someone in my team who could actually do it properly, then I would do it. But otherwise, I wouldn't. I'd do it as zonal.
No, but I think anyone, if you just literally say to them, right, your only mission when we don't have the ball is to find that player and
be with him,
to him, like white on rice. Anyone, like, and just drum it into them. Not
to Dad's point though, I've done man for man marking, and it's a tough, like it's tough, man. It's not as easy as just following. Like you've got to be
like doing
like,
NBA
switched
on a side pitch.
Yeah, you've got to be like constantly switched on.
Someone's got to. You've got to have the right qualities to do that. First of all, you've got to have the physical to do that. That's the
stamina and the endurance.
Straight away, you need to, not every player can
that's
do
why
that.
I failed.
Keith, we're gonna come back to the way you dropped your example.
I know.
We're talking about Chelsea, but I think two things. One, I think doing that gives you structural problems elsewhere, which is why managers don't do it that often. And two, I thought you were gonna ask, would you have man marked him? So as that part of that change, you've got your goal. You know, you've gone to 5 at the back, etc. And you said you've made that change to stop him walking into that hole. Would you maybe man mark him then? But again, Potts might not feel like he's got a player that's capable of doing it.
Caicedo.
No, but then you're taking out your DM and you're creating a big hole.
He was on the yellow as well, wasn't he?
You've got Gallagher and Fernandes.
Who? Galloping Gallagher.
Huh?
Galloping Gallagher.
But no, it's interesting the question that you posed, that because when I'm thinking man marking, I'm thinking from the start of the game.
Yeah.
But then to change it in game may make a lot more sense now that you're 1-0 up. Now you're going to be sitting back. Now you know you're going to be going on pressure. So it makes this completely different conversation to do it in the game rather than from the first minute.
Me
and
sitting
it
here
probably makes more sense.
with my UEFA Z coaching badge. But 1-0 is a bit early anyway, right? Over the years, unless like you're riding your luck to a high standard, the only teams that we've seen trouble City in any way, and even in your own game, the early success you got was playing the game in a way that is threatening to them. You're probably signing your death knell by, and especially these days, 65 minutes, you got half an hour to go. You're getting minimum 5 minutes. But if you then change it, then to your point, address the specific bits. So again, we throw around game management here and there. I think Poch hasn't helped himself with that. But the goal didn't come from, an isolated moment like Kevin De Bruyne walking the pocket. It was a typical kind of the ball fall to Rodri, and nine times out of 10, his technique is consistent. He will hit target. He struck it sweetly on his weaker foot.
Took a deflection though. Keeper had it covered.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, keeper had it covered.
Going in. I think it was going in.
Nah,
Anyway.
I think it was on target, but it was keeper side.
I think keeper had it covered.
I think keeper would have hit it.
If it didn't deflect.
His butterfingers that goes in.
It spins up off his thigh.
Yeah.
So,
but then you look at some of the stats. I mean, City had 31 shots and got 5 on target. That's not good. That's not good. 71% possession. Chelsea had 9 shots and got 6 on target. So it could have been a real, and it wouldn't have been a smash and grab like we said. Early doors they played well.
Just to go back to the 31 shots and it not being good. Why, when you say not good, what do you mean? Because the way I'm looking at it,
the percentage on target.
The percentage on target
is not good.
It's not good.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
But
and there's even people that would argue you've conceded 31 shots.
So this is the thing, right? So Chelsea was set up in such a manner to frustrate.
Yeah,
so trying to play through the lines is impossible. So your last resort is to pop shots.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? The question I have then in that regard is, is it bad then that City have to resort, or is it just that Chelsea just forced them in to do that?
No, it's
Is
a
it
good
really
question.
a bad thing?
It's a good question. It depends where the shots were from.
Yeah.
I was more looking at it from City's point of view. That's a very low ratio of shots on target.
Yeah, no,
That's
of
the
course.
trouble. Yeah, so that's what I meant.
totally agree.
But in terms of conceding those shots, it's interesting because that's another one of the new stats that's coming up now. You know, XG conceded. Oh yeah. That's one they're using to prop up to nice Arsenal to praise Arsenal now.
I think it was 3. It was 3 point something. City's XG.
Yeah,
2.81.
2.81.
Yeah, I hate XG anyway. I think it's a useless stat.
Yeah, don't get me started. I'll do a whole pod on that, bro. Yeah, don't get me started. So at one point, I was dreaming of a nice dent in City's title challenge. Does this 2 points drop really matter?
Yeah,
Of course it does.
yeah,
Yeah.
massively.
No,
It's huge.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course it does.
What?
Of course
Remember,
it does.
if they had won on Saturday and they win against Brentford, they go top of the league.
Okay.
Now they don't go top,
Okay.
so they're still in the mix.
So they're only one
But
point behind you.
beat Brentford. Exactly.
No, but
1
then-
point as opposed to
From
2.
here on in,
But no, but
every
there's a-
single
but there's-
point matters.
Yeah, but there's a
it's not-
psychological
yeah.
difference between being second and being first.
Wait, let me
Like-
reiterate the question. I said, does it really matter? I said, don't get me wrong, every point matters. I understand, but if they had lost, right, and they're 5 points behind you, and I know it's only 1 point difference, but I don't know if this 2 points drops. I'm looking at the table, game in hand. There'll be 1 point behind you. We've seen that 1 point is nothing to these lot.
1 point behind is in Liverpool case is better than being 1 point behind than being 1 point in front. And if you talk about City Liverpool, how much time have they lost the league by 1 point?
Yeah, and the thing we've got to play City.
makes-
No, how many times have Liverpool lost the league by 1 point?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so them being 1 point in front of City is better than being 1 point behind.
Yeah,
City
and-
could end up 1 point ahead of them
Yeah.
and win the league.
And we've
again.
got to play City. You've got to play City. I think
It's huge.
if those games had happened, if we both played City twice, then I
Yeah.
think it might be a bit different.
Okay.
But the fact that they've got to come to Anfield, you've got to go to the Etihad, I think it makes
Because it puts a different
different spin on it. Innit?
on those games.
Yeah.
Because now, even though you've got them at Anfield, a draw might be a good result for you, depending on how the league's looking at that point, rather than you having
to
the
win.
pressure to win that game. Yeah,
Mm.
it puts a different complexion on the
it's it.
game.
And it might even put a bit of pressure on them when they're playing Brentford on Tuesday. Like, if we want to be in the mix, we have. So you're saying if they drop points at Brentford, aren't you then thinking, oh,
they're not dropping points against Brentford. There's
you
no
did.
way.
All right.
Boy,
I can't see it.
Bruv, too many
Yeah.
twists and turns. Mate.
I hear you. I
I
hear
didn't see
you.
it yesterday,
but
bro.
Brentford done the
Brentford,
double over them last season, you know.
Yep.
That was last season.
that's last season.
And Bremer was local. Worcester was local. Brentford look.
Worcester's
Brentford
back. He came on Saturday. Worcester's
Yeah.
back.
I don't know. I
Back.
think for me, with City, I think I said this before. I think if it's 6 points or less, or 5 points, that's the way I look at it. Like, just assume at some point you lot are going to be level. And if I'm City and I beat Liverpool and I beat Arsenal, that levels things. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's things they've done before.
Mm.
They've done before, but they're playing you guys at Anfield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's City like at Anfield? What's the
No, they've
record?
never won there for the last few
No,
years.
they
They've got one. there.
won. I think the season we won the league, they beat us.
No.
Or
The
no.
company still playing.
No,
This
they
season.
beat us. They beat us there
Because
recently.
company's not beating Liverpool
they
at
ain't-
Anfield.
They ain't
at
beaten
all.
Liverpool.
I
at
know
Anfield
that
in the
because
league
when Burnley-
for a long time.
when
Oh,
we played
yeah, you might be.
Liverpool,
Yeah, sorry.
That's
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
brought that stat up that company's never won at Anfield.
Yeah, that's
It's not.
the only one thing that's making me think. You gotta go to Anfield. It's Klopp's final season. The atmosphere that day is going to be mad. And I know there's players that
That
experience
in itself will be a
picture.
cup final.
Bruv.
That in itself,
That is
that
going
game
to
right
be-
there, like you said, just for the
Yeah.
myriad of reasons that you just said.
Mm.
It's Klopp's last season. It's the title. We're getting closer to the end of the season. You know, it's City are behind. That is going to be a massive, massive game.
That's gotta be a Sunday, 4:00.
It's an early kickoff. It's like 3:45. They've moved it earlier for some reason.
On a Sunday?
There's a
Yeah,
place.
it's still a Sunday.
Yeah, the place. where
Oh,
we did it.
okay.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that's
Fine.
probably why.
Mm.
It's going to be such a big game.
Mate. Well, look, connected. Well, not connected, but I think it's I won't call it a setback yet. I think it's a what's one down from a setback? I think it's a little chink in the works.
In
It's a
the
speed
armour.
bump.
Yeah, it's a speed bump. Thank you. It's
But
a
it was
speed
so
bump.
unexpected. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone would have.
Just
Just
some-
for Isaac, I
And
think
if
no
I
one
look
would
at
have
their
expected
fixtures,
that.
let me look at their fixtures, right? Yeah, I mean, Man United, they're not gonna. We can't even rely on Man United to do anything now. They're not gonna lay a glove on
Derby
them.
game though, man. You never know.
Oh god, man, bro.
And Haaland's firing.
Where's that one? Is that OT? That one?
No, it's a City ground.
Oh,
That's City ground. That's not that far away. That's So they got Brentford next, as you guys called on Tuesday. They got Bournemouth away. Then FA Cup, fine. Luton in the FA Cup. Then it's the Manchester Derby. Then the next league game is at Anfield. Then it's Brighton away these days.
And then
And
Arsenal.
then it's Arsenal at home.
That's a tough little run.
Bruv, it's not nice. And punctuating those, like I said, punctuating those games, you got FA Cup, you got Copenhagen at home, second leg.
well, you have the quarterfinals as well, the Champions League before that as well, before the Arsenal game.
No. So you'll have round of 16 second leg Copenhagen before the Liverpool game, and then it's 3 league games in a row.
No, you'll have the quarterfinal. Once they beat Copenhagen, then you'll have the quarterfinal of Champions League.
Yeah.
Towards the back end of March.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe. So then, and I remember Carragher said this in the week is true. It's like you're getting to the point now where some of the biggest teams, they're resting players for Champions League for the weekend Premier League game. Where before,
Yeah.
it was the other way around. I got Liverpool on the weekend. Certain man, I'm not even touching pitch against Copenhagen.
They don't need to. Like,
Don't need
that's
to.
It's not happening.
But what I would say in regards to the running, Liverpool will most probably be playing catch up for most of the Premier League games just because of the Europa League, because we're going to be playing Sundays. So that'll be interesting how.
Is that an advantage or a disadvantage?
I would rather play first. You see, like how on Saturday we got the result out of the way early, 12:30, got the 3 points,
True.
and that puts pressure on Arsenal
Everyone
and
else.
City knowing they have to win. Where I think we'll most probably be playing either at 2:00 or 4:00 on a Sunday.
Or even sometimes Monday.
Yeah, even Monday. So if you know City and or Arsenal have won,
But it goes
it's like
both ways, right?
You have to win.
But it goes both ways. If
I'd
City-
love to play afterwards.
If
I'd love to
City
see
got
what
a little,
you do.
if City Arsenal have had a draw, you're like, right, guys, we
More
need to
motivation.
let's go and get the gap going. So yeah, I hear you. It goes
And
both ways.
A little advantage on the flip side for that for Liverpool is that they're in Europa League, so they can rest their players and still be confident they're going to win. Arsenal and City, say they get into the latter stage of the Champions League, they can't rest players.
Mhm.
So they're going to be playing Wednesday, Saturday,
Depends who we play.
Saturday.
Though.
Nah,
we
but-
might buck Leverkusen.
City can.
Huh?
City can rest players.
In the latter stages, what? Not if they're playing Real
Against who?
Madrid.
Wait, is
What
it-
if they're playing Real Madrid or Bayern Munich? They
You know
can't.
what? I hate to use the word rest with City. They can rotate
Yeah, they can
because
rotate. Okay, yeah.
Grealish.
Yeah, the drop
But
off.
Grealish is injured. So
Yeah,
let's
he came off,
you
yeah.
got
Yeah, he
to factor
came
in
off.
injuries. You got to
So-
factor in injuries.
Yeah, okay, fair.
They
But
were-
you see what I mean, though? Like,
Yeah, I see what you
all
mean.
the
yeah.
rotations and all of that. Bernardo, all of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chelsea. So from Poch's point of view now, we've asked this question a couple of times. We're in the middle of Feb. He's got a cup final. Decent-ish showing against Chelsea. If he wins the cup final, which they're not going to, well, I said they weren't going to touch City yesterday, but if they win the cup final and kind of average out this league position, is he all right?
Yeah, I said it before. I think he's all right regardless. I
You think
think
he's got a free pass?
yeah, I think it's too expensive, and then if you get a new manager and you're kind of starting the project again, I know a lot of the signings weren't particularly his, but then how many managers are going to come in and want to operate on whether it's a committee or director of football looking at the players who come in, like who's going to want to do that? So
Yeah,
I think
people
it's
say this, but it's part of a manager's ego to feel like I'm the one that can go in there and change that, right? We always say this, but there's always someone for the job. Always. Like people say, oh, who want to go to Man United? Even before Nunez came in. Trust me, people put their hand up. If the Chelsea job was open tomorrow, you will get very
course
decent
they will.
managers.
Yeah.
You get very decent managers. And I think it's risk and reward, kid. That's why I asked, because at this point, if he does badly enough, all that money you've invested kind of starts to go down the drain. Your sponsorships don't take over. You know, they're 10th now. A lot of these things have clauses about where you finish in the league. Your prize money is affected by where you finish in the league. They're not going to have any Europe, not even little Europa Conference League. Like, so I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, if you don't do anything, actually, if you do something and it costs you some money, fine. If you don't do anything and it costs you money, you might as well try something. That's the other way I'm looking at it. What do you think, Isaac?
I'd be surprised.
I don't think they're going to get rid of him. I agree with Key. I think he's got a free pass. I think if you look at, I think maybe the scattergun approach, they've realised it's not working. And like Key said, if they get rid of him now and bring someone else in, you're right, you're back to square one. Your project's not, you're just going to keep doing this. You're in a vicious cycle of just, oh yeah, new manager, it works, no it doesn't, get rid of him. New manager, it works, no it doesn't, get rid of it. And it's just going to keep doing that, and then Bowley's going to bounce, and then Chelsea are in a precarious situation. So I believe, give him another season. Let's see where he really is after summer. Will they bring players in?
Right, and that's the point I wanted to add to this, yeah? Because in a normal situation, Poch comes as a season, I want more of my players. Here, they've bought so many players. Don't get me wrong, obviously some have had this season to prove themselves or not. People will move out and move in. But the way the finances are, he's going to have to buy the same profile. Like, he's not getting another Nkunku or another Raheem. Or I don't think he can buy another Cole Palmer. I think you're going to get more of the Sassis, the Gustos. Do you know what I mean?
But and then also the problem is any of the players that they've already got that aren't tied down, that are tied down to these definite
if I don't want to leave, I'm not going nowhere.
They can't get rid of them freely. That player can't just leave. And they can't also just get rid of them because who's going to come in and buy and spend that money? Because of the length of the contract, wages, because of the wages, the value of that player is up here. Right? Even just by nature of the length of the contract.
Even just at a 40 or 50 grand a week, yeah. No, it's true.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So essentially, the manager and this crop of players are tied in. I would say for the next 2 to 3 seasons, at the very least.
So, Daz, what do they do then? What do they do from here?
Well, I totally agree with what the guys have said. That he's definitely staying. I can't see where he goes. In your scenario, you said if they win the Carabao, they get Europe. That puts them in the Conference League. Yep. So I would actually see that might even be seen as a little bit of success.
Oh, yeah.
As a success for the season from where they were.
And imagine how you'll be able to use the squad then. You'll have more games.
Yeah. So you got 2 teams. You can use your 2 teams. So I reckon, as I said, that they're tied in for the next couple, 2-3 years now. Just hope that it improves.
And when we think about the big money signings, because I think the thing for me that has shocked me the most is, well, apart from one player, I did say the Caicedo one was a bit. Apart from that, some of them have not come off. You know, they've not landed and done as well. People were expecting enough from Caicedo. I think people have been a little bit harsh on Enzo, but yeah, he hasn't played. Well, what is his best? He played how many games before he became this big money player? How many people saw him play once? So again, there's probably a thing of Poch maybe has another pre-season with those guys. Or maybe one of them. There's maybe some of the players that can be moved on. There's talk of Conor Gallagher leaving. He's got 1 year left on his deal. They're trying to negotiate. Obviously, he wants a certain level of contract. Just to say, not. I think it was you. Were you part of the team? The people them that was telling me that if he leaves Chelsea, Palace is his level. You lot still think that?
What, Gallagher?
Yeah,
100%.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You still think that if he leaves Chelsea, Crystal Palace is his level?
100%.
Yeah.
It's only because he's playing at Chelsea, but he's not pulling up trees. Like he's not.
Don't get me wrong, I don't rate him, but the way he's seen, I actually think.
Yeah, but that happens with players.
Tottenham, bro.
That happens with players, though, innit?
Yeah,
like, that's happened with
Tottenham.
Mount, innit? Like,
yeah, but you don't say to me, because he's gonna land at Palace. That's what I was saying to you. I was saying, no, he's gonna get a Tottenham. He's gonna get someone that's.
I think if
he could get
smart,
Man United or someone like that. Yeah,
I think if he's smart, he looks at a mid-table team, pulls up trees like Keith said, raise your profile, and then go and try and get.
He's at Chelsea. He's at Chelsea. He's probably been one of, if not their best player this season. So the way he's playing it is that he's going to be getting a better move than Chelsea.
I would say they're most consistent. I don't know about best, but I'll say they're most consistent. I would say he's been their most consistent.
And he's been captain.
That's their best then. He's been their best player, the most consistent player.
I don't think he's been their best player more times than anybody else. But I just think you know what you're going to get from him. Okay. Where some players, sometimes Enzo.
The only other one I can say is Palmer's been really good as well.
Yeah, Palmer. Yeah. That's been a good sign.
I think what did help Poch though was Thiago getting injured and Colwill and Disasi playing centre back together.
Yes.
Like, Disasi had a monster game, and Colwill is comfortable centre back. Like, I don't know why he's been playing left back all this time. I know you've got Silva there to kind of be the experience and stuff, but I say he's like 38 now. Play the young guns, man. And yeah, I think they had a really good game together, those two.
So how long do you think it takes Chelsea to get back to, say, title changing for a title at the top?
Title challenge. Jeez. 3-4 years, maybe?
Depends what gap Klopp leaves behind. But, I've been...
The thing is, there's so many teams ahead of them. Like,
3 years.
you got City, you got Arsenal, you should have Liverpool. Tottenham are ahead in the process. Man United are further ahead in the process. Newcastle.
Or thereabouts.
If Newcastle get a new manager, I think there's too many teams ahead of them.
I'll do it in number of signings. I think they are probably at least 3 or 4 transformative signings away, right? And what I mean is like buying an Alisson,
Van Dijk.
buying a Van Dijk. And you might have to do 10 transfers to get those 4, the way they've been doing it. So I don't know how long, if they got those kind of people over 2 windows and you add them to fit in Nkunku, Cole Palmer matures some more, Sterling, Enzo and blah, 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 it could be sooner than you think. So
do you think they get back there?
Yeah, I think they do. Just a cycle of football.
With the money that they've got off.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's all cycles, isn't it?
And if the people there start to play to their potential, bro, like some of the names we've said today, if they start playing to their potential, they're dangerous every week. They just need to get the performance out of them and then add to it. And then some of these youngsters, again, they were targeted because everyone had highlighted them as being whatever, and they're playing every week. Gusto is playing every week. The Sassy, these guys. So at some point they'll get there. So yeah, thanks Chelsea. Moving on. Spurs Wolves, another speed bump. Spurs 1, Wolves 2. I believe it was in the end. What's happening with Ange, man?
They've been getting away with it. Spurs, no, they have. They've been getting away. Everyone's saying that maybe they've been found out. He's been found out a little bit. The last few weeks, they've been scraping by. Lots of 95th minutes, 96th minute. And yeah, this wasn't a big surprise for me.
Do you think they have a good enough squad?
No.
Wait, good enough squad to do what?
To be competing for top 4.
I said it was a bit thin for the beginning. I think it's thin. Yeah.
Good 11. But you look at their bench. Like they started Ben Davies yesterday. Like,
no, the way you talk about players,
But
if we ever go to a function with players, listen, we're gonna have to hire CP for you.
But whenever I talk about players, I'm judging them amongst their peers, innit?
Yeah.
And
that's not gonna save you on the day,
No, but like Ben Davies isn't a player who's gonna elevate you into a top 4 title challenging team. Like he's a very dependable Premiership player who lots of Premiership teams would love to have. But
wait, Dan Burns playing Champions League right now.
Yeah.
So he's only coming in for a few games a season, so I think that is that not suitable?
Well, that gets
as a backup. He's a backup. You just said he's good enough to play in the Premier League for most teams.
Yeah, but for a team that wants to kick on and potentially challenge for consistent Champions League and titles, I don't think that's the caliber of player. Like Eric Dyer, he was never gonna come into a Tottenham team and elevate them. Like they don't elevate the first team at any point. Like they might slightly hinder it, to be honest.
I take your point, but for me, sometimes it's about performance level as well. So not just capabilities, performance level. Because these are the same players that were doing bits earlier on in the season. And I've seen, you know social media. So I've seen lots of attacks on Ange Ball, as they call it. It's a fraud, it's a fake. Tottenham fans, supposed Tottenham fans. I mean, I think it's all a bit reactive. Like, when the high line is working, it's amazing. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. And he's refreshing and he's different to it goes a little bit wobbly. All of a sudden, it doesn't always do it.
It's all reactive, man.
It's just...
It's all reactive. Look, he's had what? Just over half a season, right? With the team. And half of a season, he's not had his main striker or his main key player, his captain. And he's also lost pretty much 2/3 of his midfield, right? Basuma and Mate Sarr. Like, come on, like and Maddison as well.
Yeah.
He didn't have Maddison for a lot of that as well. Like, come on, man. You gotta understand. players have got to get used to the new style. They need games together in order to get used to each other within this new style, and then we'll start to see dividends, right? Man United, look at Man United. Case in point, perfect case in point. Haaland's just started firing, 7 and 6. Look how long that took him to get to that point.
And they made tweaks to the front line to make
Exactly. Like, come on, it's all reactive, man. That's why I'm not even.
And don't get me wrong, I think it's a rebound for a lot of the fans that went too far too early with the Ange ball thing and whatever.
Man.
But I'm with you, and you know, when I saw Wolves' second goal, bro, listen, I don't know, I don't care what setup you got. You see, once Neto drops it into third,
man,
mate, bring him to L4 ASAP.
I think everyone wants him. Everyone wants him.
ASAP.
Everyone wants him.
Get on the phone, mate.
Everyone
Get on the phone. The way, I don't know what anyone's doing about that. It was mental, and the finish was good. It was a good finish. I don't know. And Man United on a bit of the resurgence now. I don't think they'll get there, but I think if they finish 5th, I don't think it's a disastrous season for Spurs.
No, not at all. Like Isaac said, first season, they've got quite a few new signings and players who have been integrated back into the squad who weren't part of the team last season. So I think they're landing thereabouts where they should be. It's just the whole media circus that was around Ange, like you said, went a little bit too far. And I think everyone just needs to bring it down a little bit and be like, right, he's a good manager with a couple more transfer windows. I'm not saying they're going to be challenging for the league, but I think they'll be more consistent in like the top 4 race potentially.
I think with Tottenham is timing because they had all those injuries and everything, and now all their players have just come back. So I think everyone expected it. A lot of their fans expect them to kick on
straight away.
And now they're not. Everyone's like, "What's going on?" All our players are back now. We should be back playing how we was at the beginning of the season.
But 2 key pieces were missing yesterday: Poro and Udogie. And they're 2 key pieces of how that attack forms.
100%.
You had Emerson and Ben Davies.
It's 100% different.
If you see the way Emerson got chopped for one of them.
And let's be honest, and I know Daz has been campaigning for him for the last 2 seasons.
I'm glad you're going to mention him because I need to mention him.
Like, Gary O'Neill has got Wolves playing some
I watched the
very
game.
Masterclass.
They were very good.
Masterclass.
They were very good yesterday.
Very good football.
Wolves they've been very nice this season.
This is a serious manager.
I remember watching a breakdown that he done on one of the games that Wolves played, and just listening to the way he broke down the tactics.
Oh, the Monday Night Football.
I think it was, and just listening to the way he broke it
his
down.
LinkedIn post,
He got a bit of
post, bruv. The way he was,
he got a bit of pelters for that.
He did it.
He got a bit of pelters for that.
It felt like
so this is a whole nother conversation because we sit there and talk about we don't have the next. Who's the English Pep, not Pep, but who's the English top level manager, right? And then someone comes along and starts breaking it down and talking in a way where he's showing an elite level of thinking, and then we start giving him.
I only mock him because it's. I'll be honest. I think it's a personality thing. I think it's just a personality thing. He just came across like that whole night was. You see Bournemouth. You see.
Yeah, because he was breaking it down against Bournemouth, innit? It's like people were like, "Oh, he's trying to show them what they're missing." Kind of thing. But it was just.
I hope it was that. I hope it was that. Yeah,
it just.
That shows confidence. Some people might see it as arrogance, but I see that as confidence.
And if you had an accent, man would be like,
"Come on, this is it, bro.
No,
this is it."
No, I think he's good. I think he's shown in 2 jobs now. So I'm just waiting to see the next mid-level job because he's gonna go from a Wolves to a Tottenham, say, or whatever.
Yeah.
Then the next job after that. So I'm waiting for the next one to come up, and then we'll really see what it is because it just feels like sometimes this thing is about. I don't want to say fashion, but you know what I mean, like who's in, who's trendy.
Yeah.
Because there are some jobs that Potter gets mentioned for, and I'm like, being real, O'Neill can say I've done stuff Potter ain't done.
Yeah, I think he's better
in this league. I've put up numbers he hasn't put up. So I don't know why his name's not in certain jobs.
Do you know what it is as well? Let's be honest. He got the job, fortunately, because the manager got sacked. He stepped in as a caretaker, right? And done enough to secure a permanent post.
Because I'm sure they weren't going to bank on him being their permanent manager last season.
Right. Yeah. So I just think it's a case of they're trying to see what can you do,
Yeah.
right? And I think if this Wolves tenure goes really well, I think we will start to hear his name in more conversations.
Yeah.
I really hope it does. I'm not gonna lie, Daz. I'm aboard the train. I'm on board.
I never doubted him.
I'm on board.
I just understood. I understood Bournemouth side as well at the time. I understood like, you've done a good job, but I want to do something different now. But here,
it's worked out for both sides.
Yeah, exactly. But here, especially in football culture, we can't fathom that you're doing well, so you can't be moved on. Whereas, in all other works of life, we see that. So yeah, good win for Wolves. Where are they now? They're 11th in the table.
Well, I think they're only 3 points off from 7th, something like that. Like it's tight in that little mini league.
Level on points with Chelsea, 1 point behind West Ham. We could talk about West Ham. And then 2 points off Newcastle and 3 points off Brighton. So the next, and then there's a 6 point jump to Fulham in 12th. So it's almost that middle pack they're kind of pulling away. So it's gonna be basically it's just punch for punch in there now. No room for slip ups. Okay, cool. Burnley, Arsenal. As Keith would say, get Burnley out of here.
Yep.
Burnley knew Arsenal 5. Let me start with what's the word I want to use? Stubbornness. That's what are we saying? Is Company standing by his football principles and I don't want to say he's refusing to adapt because, again, not qualified to see all the micro and small things he's done, but largely sticking with their philosophy and playing a certain way. Is that a good thing or is it a slight sign of arrogance or naivety? How do you read it?
Naivety. Yeah, it's
bingo.
Poor. It's terrible. Like you're setting up in a way that you're gonna lose. I'm sorry, these teams are better than you. So if you're setting up in a formation and in a way that's gonna be like we play, then you play, you're gonna lose.
Yeah, machine for machine.
Yeah, that's what you was doing last year in the championship. And he got so many plaudits and it looked great. It was fantastic football. Wow. But now you've got to come into the Premier League. It's a total different level. Your players are not going to be better than the other team.
And so, without being too exaggerated too much, is it almost putting a bit of a different type of stress on his players or exposing them in a slightly different way?
There's no protection for them. So they are totally exposed. And I think like you got to look. The results are not going your way. You've got to make some changes. You can't just keep going into every week doing the same thing and expecting different results. Yeah. There's a word for that. Yeah. So I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised that he's done it. But I believe that is the new way football managers are now. Everyone has their own philosophy, and it's like we're gonna play that no matter what. No matter what, this is my style. Win, lose or draw, this is how we're playing. Which I feel like you should be able to adapt to what's happening.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think from a manager's point of view, Isaac, I think for me, apply your philosophy in the situations you're in, that kind of give and take. That's what we've seen a lot of them do. Being able to just stick to it, no matter who you're playing, no matter what you're doing, you can do that when you've got certain tools at your disposal and certain resources. And if you haven't, you've got to adapt to what you've got. So, if you're Burnley, and again, it's easy for me to say this after a 5-0 Arsenal win, but the reason why I'm saying that is because we've seen other promoted teams give the Arsenals and the Cities and stuff a tough game. A really, really tough game. They didn't do that.
So, I think the way in which he won the championship last season it's a bit of a gift and a curse, right? He won it so convincingly that he thought, oh, this team's good enough, or this philosophy, this idea, this style of football is good enough to survive in the Premier League. Then they've come into the Premier League and the gap is so big and his stubbornness and his naivety is so big in the sense of like he just won't step back and go, maybe we need to change this. Like he's just get week in, week out. They're turning up thinking that they can play with these teams. They're getting bopped off the park. They're getting beat off the park. And then he comes back again the next week with the same thing. And that's why I say it's the curse, because it's like he done it so well. He's got in his head that it works. We just need to, the team are just not executing the way I want them to. No, it's not that. Because if you look at Luton, they came up, was it through the playoffs?
Yeah, they won the playoff final.
Yeah. They came up through the playoffs and they're doing much better than Burnley. Now, they don't have, they weren't, in terms of in the championship to Burnley, they weren't good enough to even get closer.
Yeah, nowhere near them.
But in the Prem, they're surviving. And that shows that Rob Edwards has gone away and he's gone, right, we brought in one or two players, brought in experience. We realised we're not good enough. We're not good enough, right? In this style, in this shape, the way we play, we're going to have to adapt. And they've adapted really well.
And it's interesting you say that, because if you listen to people that have watched him as a manager before the Luton job and he actually likes to play a certain style of football. And then he's got to Luton and said, actually, there are elements of that we can do, but with the players I've got, there's other bits that we can't do. And he's sort of and worked through that and adapted through that. And I think he's made a couple of astute signings. I think Barkley, Sambi on loan, all that kind of stuff. And I saw an interview that Craig Burley did as well, and he's like, and he got asked the question, "Are you not going to change?" And he said, "No, never." I'm like, where does this steadfastness come from?
So do you think he's been told, even if we go down, you're still in a job? So I think if the conversation was like, your job might be at risk, he might be like, all right, let me tweak. But I think he's been told you're not getting sacked regardless.
That should not affect those.
I know, because but I think he might see it as a learn. So go back down, maybe reassess, and then I just think
there's a bigger picture here. All right, there's a bigger
possibility
picture here, because as a chairman, that is suicidal to say, don't worry about it. Even if we go down, you're okay. No, I'm not trying to go back down. I don't want to go back down there. The money that we get from being in the Premiership is not the same as what you get in the Championship. Why would I say, oh yeah, it's cool for... No.
He's managing like someone who's got no worries.
So I'll tell you what, I think, again, I don't know him. It's only from what we see him as a player. I've seen interviews of him this season. I almost feel like it was a conversation that was almost like, this is how I play football. This is how I want to develop the team. And it's kind of, if you want something different from this, you need to get someone else. Basically, I think, because when you heard, even when he did the overlap with Gary Neville, and you hear him talk about the way they play, and he talks about the players are learning, etc. And at first I was like, okay. Then I thought, hold on, listen. This is the big time. This is the Premier League. But on the flip side, if you're the owners, you're investing a certain type of money, and you're trying to do this kind of club building, medium term thing, it's hard. Do you know what I mean? It's hard because he could go down again and come straight back up and then buck the trend then. And actually, would you rather go back down? It sounds convoluted, but and we've seen some teams do it. Would you rather go back down, take your parachute money, build again, have a little bit of profile now, you can get some players in, and then come back in and stay for a bit? Or be one of those teams that scrapes it, stays for another year, and then we don't see you again. Right? And I think the teams that go down now, I think the bottom team now gets 100 million in Premier League money. Something similar than that. So I agree. I don't think the chairman has said that, but when you employ and you have those kind of conversations with someone like Vincent Kompany, he said to you, it's me or the highway. And I'm with you guys. I feel like you have to earn that one track, one-minded approach.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like you have to have gone through all the different ways and done it a certain way. And this is just from a fan's view, right? You have to done that and you have to have certain players at your disposal. Otherwise, on your way up, like any other job, bruv, you got to duck left, you got to duck right, you got to do a few. I'm not saying he's got to turn into Sean Dyche tomorrow, but there's a massive spectrum between what they're doing, right, and being a long ball team. There's a huge spectrum there.
Can I just ask you a question? Because this is my theory. Who do you think was his biggest managerial influence?
Pep.
Yes, exactly that. Pep,
I think he said this. There was Pep and someone else. Oh.
But I think this all stems from Pep, because this one way, my philosophy, this is how I play, it comes from Pep. And Pep does it.
No.
I think if you made Pep Guardiola Burnley manager tomorrow, he'll be doing exactly the same thing.
Well, he doesn't take the job because he hasn't got the players to play.
But I think But if he had the job, I believe Pep would be doing exactly the same thing.
I disagree.
He's saying, this is the way I play football. You lot, this is how we're doing it. If you can't do it, I might bring new players to do it. But
I disagree because at Barcelona, when they gave him his first managerial job, which was Barcelona B, he had the same issue. He came in with a style of philosophy. It wasn't working. And then he went away and went, okay, something's wrong here. Is it me and what I'm telling them to do? Or is it the capability of the players to do what did he do? He tweaked his style.
But he got rid of all the players.
No, he didn't. He tweaked his style. He tweaked it. Go and watch it, bro. Go and watch it. I watched it the other day. He tweaked his philosophy.
No, he tweaked it, but I guess we can...
Because he realised what he's asking them to do was a lot of information.
Yeah. But I think in terms of... I hear what you're saying, but if you think about degree of changes, from that Pep first Barcelona team, even with those tweaks to what you see now, the degree of change is, single digits, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But Pep's a bad example because he's not taking that job because he would.
If he landed there, he would be playing.
First thing he's doing is getting the players to play his way.
Yeah, he's not turning around and even if they lost 5-0 then 4-0, he's still gonna keep the same. He's still gonna say, "I want you to play like this."
Yeah.
But he'll tweak it slightly. He's not gonna be stubborn to the point where he'll go.
Company's probably tweaking it slightly, but it's not making.
I don't think
difference.
it's enough, and I just think that.
And then that becomes a manager issue.
No, I agree.
An ability as a manager.
Because you're going to get back to the championship. And what you were doing is going to blitz it again.
I don't think he's going to stay that long for him to be going back to the championship. Like what you described earlier, about going back and coming back up. I don't think companies will be staying that long.
I think they'll give him time. And the thing as well...
No, I'm thinking from his point of view. Not their point of view, from his point of view. He sees that as a stepping stone. He doesn't want to be there 5 years.
He's got for that to be a stepping stone, he's got to show in the Premier League he can do something. That's all well and good being a championship manager.
Thank you.
I know some championship managers have been given a Premiership opportunity, but I think as well, the team he had last season championship, not all of them stayed. He signed a few younger players, like the goalkeeper, etc., who weren't there for that championship winning season. And I think it's like I say, it's very different, isn't it? Doing that in the championship and then getting those players to perform in the Premier League.
I tell you what though, football doesn't surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised if you can have a conversation with some director of football in Europe. I'm with Daz. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some sort of job at the end of the season after Burnley get relegated.
But that won't be because of his ability as a manager. That'll just be because of his past as a player.
No, I think the way the convo might go, right, is you can see the type of football I'm trying to play. You have a squad that can do it.
You've got better players.
Yeah, than the Burnley squad.
But he only gets that because of who he is.
I think it's a combination of both. I think a combination of both.
I think it's what he did in the championship, and we can see what he's trying to do here. So you could think of a couple of strong French teams, couple of strong Spanish teams where they've got, not stars, but they've got good technical players. It just wouldn't surprise me. But this regular, it just every time I watch them, I just think, oh yeah, that's that. Hold on, and then it just happens again. And they were getting some all right results recently. Drew 2-2 at Fulham, drew with Luton, but overall, it's not great. Now really lost to Villa, but
yeah, I knew this would be a walkover for Arsenal.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm impressed. It's 11 goals in 2 games.
Bro,
I'm impressed.
Very, very good.
I'm impressed.
Their goal deficit plus 36 now.
Yeah, I'm impressed considering they don't have strikers.
Yeah.
They've got 2 of them.
Yeah,
Babaidi and Senor Gabriel.
No, I mean from Arsenal point of view, it was a great performance. It's always good when you got multiple scorers. No matter how hard he tries, everything Kai Havertz does still looks like a fumble or an accident.
It was a good finish though.
Everyone keeps saying this to me, but
he chopped the defender, didn't he?
I thought the goalie should have saved it. It was right next to him. It was right next to him, yeah. He had the whole goal and he just...
Yeah, but he created a space for himself.
So the approach play was good. Was fantastic.
The finish.
But the finish, the commentator said the finish was sublime.
It wasn't.
What are you watching, bro?
He missed.
Don't get me wrong. you hit them, you score them, the number's the number. So I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but he just has this ability to just make stuff look
difficult.
Yeah, bro. I don't get it. Even the goal against Liverpool, Saka shouldn't even need to volley that in. Shouldn't need to. Alice is at disadvantage.
Yeah.
The slot in the corner. When it hits his straight. Anyway, but good finish from Odegaard. That was the kind of
I thought
goals.
that's a brilliant goal.
Bro,
I thought that was a
it's the
brilliant
kind of
goal.
stuff the kind of strikes we saw him hitting a lot more last season.
Yeah.
So it was really good. I mean, Saka.
Was it a pen?
I
thought it was dubious.
Which one is this?
Nah, it's a rash tackle.
I'm trying to
man.
remember it. I'm trying to remember
Can't
the
tackle
pen.
like that in the box. There weren't much contact.
Yeah,
but,
like the contact
but
was.
the fact that he
it
went
was,
down,
No,
I'm
but
thinking
didn't
it
he
must
kick him
be.
before he got to the ball.
Nah, it was.
Yeah. It's one of them ones.
When
where-
I saw it, I was like,
It's one
if
of
it
those
wasn't
ones
given,
where
I'd understand if it
Yeah.
wasn't given, kind of thing.
I just think in this day and age, that's the kind of thing you cannot be doing in the box.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't give it at full speed, do you know that was there?
Mm.
Like you got, and it's a good pen again. I thought the keeper could have saved.
Yeah,
that.
it was tight. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was,
There's
yeah,
a
it
few
was
goals,
tight.
Isaac, where I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
keeper.
Now, do you know what? I know we've gone past the game, but because we're talking about dubious decisions in the box,
Yeah.
just quickly,
Yeah.
and we'll come back to this. The Colwill situation,
I didn't see that one.
was it a pen?
Nah, I don't think it was.
No, the handball.
That is a stone cold pen for me.
The
Nah.
handball. No, no way.
The thing is, like,
What?
the
That
fir-
was
the
an
fir- the
accident.
first
Yeah.
hit-
No, accident when he moved his hand.
No, but the
no,
thing is, the
no.
first hit, it was so
rolled down
close.
his
And I
arm,
think he
yeah.
just then he trying to move his hand
It
out the
just
way.
was a natural
Brother,
reaction.
that's
Yeah.
your reaction.
Look, this is what happened. The ball landed, like they said, that it was an accident.
Mm.
It's landed on his forearm.
Mm.
Then he's gone, oh, well, actually,
Yeah.
hold on.
It's all
And then,
congested,
look,
Jay.
He's
Like, it's all
nudged it.
congested.
He's
It's all-
nudged it. He's gained an advantage.
Nah,
That's
I
a
don't
penalty.
think- yeah, I don't think so.
No, I don't
Nah.
think so.
When you get an opportunity, watch it, please.
Harsh.
I don't think so.
But
But-
yeah, good penalty by Saka. Keeper maybe should have saved it. But Saka's second goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good finish.
Hey, listen.
Hold on. Listen, good strike by Saka, 100%. Keeper?
Nah, too much pace in it. There's certain, when Aguero used to slap it near post,
Slap it.
and your keeper just
Let me
puts
ask
their
you
hand
the-
up
let me
like
ask
they're
you the-
answering the teacher's question.
yeah.
It's one of them ones.
Let me ask-
Nah.
Let me ask you
Fair
a
enough.
question. Do I beat Ellison there like that? Do
Level-
I
level-
beat Edison there like that?
Level though, innit?
Yeah, but
Okay, forget that. Do I beat what's the Everton goalkeeper's name?
Pickford.
Yeah, you beat Pickford.
you beat
You beat
Pickford.
Pickford. You beat Pickford.
Nah, you guys don't rate. Yo, you guys don't
No,
rate.
but I do think there's some near post shots when they go in the roof,
Mm.
like at pace.
Yeah. I
It's
agree.
hard. It's hard. To
But
save them
when you
all.
watch it again, you'll see that ball wasn't at near post. You're calling it near post because of the way he was standing. When you see it again, that is not a near post shot in the way we think about it. And I know what you're saying because that used to happen a lot in the Spanish league. I used to watch Spanish league a lot, and they don't care to slap shots from there. It was a great strike from Saka, but when I see goals like that, I just think keeper. So already now, it's not a 5-0 game. You save that penalty,
Yeah, it's
And you
early in
don't
the
get
second half,
Mm.
innit?
yeah, it's interesting, but
And Saka's got that shot, He's done that a
Bruv,
few
yeah,
times.
yeah,
He's done that a few
yeah,
times.
he
He
does
does
not
that
waste
on
time.
on his right foot as well.
Two-footed, yeah, man.
he doesn't waste time. His
Mm.
decision making is
Mm.
that's his for me. That's his greatest capability. Decision making.
Can I just say also as well, you Arsenal fans that are sharing that comparison between Saka and Ronaldo after 250
Never.
games are very shameless people.
No, you'll never see me
Disgusting.
say that.
Absolutely shameless. You need to go outside and touch grass because that is disgraceful.
The only reason I'll do it is if I had a point to prove. But I saw that, I didn't even get involved. I didn't even get involved. No, I didn't get involved.
What does it mean? Okay, so he's got a few more goals and assists, but what have they led to? What is the outcome of those goals and assists?
You know why I struggle with some of them stats? They just miss out a lot of context, and it's like
Come on, man.
if those goals led to you winning the Prem, and my goals just were goals, I'd rather have your goals.
Right? There you go.
And it's a bit like that argument, and we'll come to the Insta, where the guy was like, oh, in all of these seasons, Klopp got more points than Sir Alex Ferguson got years ago. And I'm like, but why are you telling me that? Sir Alex Ferguson got the points he needed to get to win. That don't make no difference now. And it's the same way when you lot won the league, Man City probably got more points than have, but they didn't get enough that year to beat you lot. It goes the same way. It goes the same way. Anyway, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Just,
Leave him in.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, any chance, innit?
No, I'm just saying. Trossard again.
Yeah, another good finish. I thought all Arsenal's goals were pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a good display. But I think without disrespecting Burnley, we just need to keep up the clinical, because when we get to the cities and those teams,
Yeah.
you're gonna have
Well,
half the chances.
Terrell said last week when Liverpool won, it's only Burnley, innit? So
Exactly. No, I
it's,
agree.
it's only
Yeah,
Burnley.
it's only
And I
Burnley.
was waiting to see the goals because I was thinking, if it's 5 top goals, cool. When I saw some of them, I was like, no, we have to take them.
Yeah.
I was like,
So-
come on, man. So
But this is what Arsenal doing what they failed to do pre-Christmas.
yeah.
Kill games,
Yeah.
like put the ball in the back of the
Yeah.
net. Like there's
Look at Villa.
there are many games
Yeah.
where you could have won 2s, 3s like before
Yeah.
Christmas. Now you're doing that. So
So
yeah.
And I think the biggest point is the goal difference, because a couple of weeks ago we were lagging behind Liverpool and Man City,
And you're
and
gonna
now
need
we've
it.
totally
yeah, exactly.
eradicated
yeah.
that.
And the
which is
interesting
good.
thing is,
And goal difference is worth another point.
mate,
Yeah.
and the interesting thing is, game in hand or not, as it stands, City's goal difference is 30 plus 31, Arsenal plus 36, Liverpool plus 35. So again, if it
all
goes,
matters.
yeah, bro, if it
It
goes
all
down to the
matters.
wire,
Yeah.
it's gonna.
You need to kill the games, man.
I wouldn't be surprised whoever ends up like being the top 2 near the end. I think goal difference this season might play a little part,
Oh, wow.
and I think it's horrible, but I think it
Do
might.
you think
be.
it'll be that close?
I think it might be.
I do as well.
Once we,
I think there'll be a clear winner.
you think so?
Yeah, I don't see the top 2.
So we got
drawing
13
on
games
points.
left. We got 13 games left, and we're still talking about it. You know, that's not a lot of games.
But yeah, I just feel like someone will.
Yeah,
And
will.
the top 3 have all got to play each
Yeah,
other.
once they play each other,
Yeah.
I think someone.
That's what I'm saying. The last 2,
Mm.
we are still banging it out. Maybe 5 games in. If there's 5 games to go and it's still permutations, I think it could be. Oh, I'd hate that. Like when I was like as a neutral, the whole Man City, Man United thing. I'll never forget, bro. I was thinking, this was one of my teams. I couldn't watch this game. That was crazy.
Mm.
Absolutely.
And you know
crazy.
what's funny? You know when City won it against QPR,
Yeah.
and they won it on goal difference.
Yeah.
It's because they beat Man United 6-1
There you go.
earlier in that season.
There you go.
Wow.
So
The David Silva volleyed pass.
Oh,
Why was me?
what a pass!
So
But this is what we're here for. I hope it does come down to that.
no, 100%.
Oh, I love it. That this is what I've craved. That's what you want as a
It's not
football
nice
fan.
though. Like I've watched the game last 2 seasons, last game of the season, hoping for something to go
Nah,
your
but
way.
that's-
And it
that's-
hasn't.
But on the flip side, while you was doing that, I was watching a game that meant absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, so
I
I
was
would
about to say,
I would
You know
rather
what
that
that is?
last day
You know
of
what
the
that is?
season.
That's privilege.
Yeah, exactly.
That's privilege.
I was-
See where your team now got to the point where
Yeah.
they're good enough. Yeah, you're used to them
Yeah.
tanking every season.
Yeah.
You can talk rubbish like that,
Yeah,
bro.
but
I'm
we
not
ain't
used to
been
this.
there.
Yeah.
We ain't been.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I want. I want to get to the last day of the
It's
season
natural.
and not watch a game
I
that
can't
everyone's
remember.
waiting to go on
I don't
holiday.
remember what this feels like.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Last season, I was like, oh, okay. Every week, oh, you win. Okay. So yeah. Mate, it kind of is what it is. And then now, yeah, to kind of complete the trio, we got the Liverpool Brentford game. Brentford 1, Liverpool 4. The talk of the town. The Chaos scored a fantastic goal. I mean, I think I've watched that goal about 10 times now.
I don't know what the official opposite for chaos is, but whatever it is how he finished.
But
That-
but
that-
before
that-
we get
that
to his
goal.
finish, yeah, Jota.
Is it?
What?
Nunez's goal? Like,
No, that goal was cold.
I think that's his best goal for us. Like without a shadow of a doubt.
no, I don't think so.
I
I've
think
seen him
without a
score
shadow
No,
of a
I
doubt.
don't think so either.
I think his goal
more-
against
more-
Newcastle was
Yeah,
better.
Newcastle as well. Newcastle away, you're talking about.
Which
Yeah.
one's the
Nah,
Newcastle
yeah.
goal? Remind me.
When
He
got
scored
played
two.
through.
He
When he
scored
got,
two.
yeah,
He scored
when
two that
we
day.
was- we was a man down.
Yeah.
Oh, and
He
he's
got
come
brought-
on.
Yeah.
He come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
And
said
just
Van Dijk
slapped
should have
it.
got sent off or something.
Yeah,
He didn't.
yeah,
Yeah,
Well, he
yeah.
did get sent off. He did get sent off.
Oh, and we were
Yeah,
saying
he
he
did.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
And then he's done the
The
one
reason-
bottom corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason why I say that is just because the sheer unexpectedness of it. Like he was running through.
I'm
One,
not gonna
I
lie
was
to you, I
like-
thought he was gonna miss.
Yeah. So one, I was like, yeah, I'm not confident. And then two, I was like, all right, he's chipping it.
Bro.
The finish was a mazza.
Listen.
Like,
You know what? Listen, and I'm looking at Daz here, bro. Listen, for someone, yeah, who clearly he hears the chatter, man. People talk about him, he's affected his confidence. For you to be so free on goal, you know, like sometimes you have too much time
Mm-hmm.
to be so free on goal, make that decision, and execute like that. And I love them lobs where it hits the back of the net.
That was
Yeah.
good. That was good. It didn't bounce. Yeah,
It
that
didn't
was
hit
really
the back
good.
of the net. we have seen so many people mess that up. I think we've seen him mess it up. He tried something from edge of the box somewhere. I think it was him or someone recently.
Yeah.
So to do that,
He got
at
everything right.
0-0,
Everything right.
and it was perfect. The trajectory up, down, it wasn't that far over the keeper's fingertips as well. I was thinking, boy, I could see the memes already. Hey, listen, man, that goal was cool. But Jota,
miss it.
that header was.
Yeah,
that
and
How did he know he was there? I don't know how he even knew that he was there.
Yeah, because he was
down to
like
him.
running towards the ball,
And
but he
looking
had
up in
a
the
little look,
Oh, is it?
He had a little
That was
look,
quality.
and then
And
bullied the
then
defender.
as well. You put it in that area, right? You're kind of expecting him to be there.
Yeah, he's going to be a big miss for us.
It was a really
Big
good
miss.
finish, but
Big
yeah,
miss.
as the fact it was at 0-0,
Yeah.
really, really good. But it's through 1-on-1 with the keeper. If you're talking about XG, I'm expecting him to score.
No, don't get me wrong. The fact that he scored,
Yeah.
isn't the thing,
Yeah.
right? You expect him to score, but the
type of finish.
what he chose and the execution, nice. And I mean, as an Arsenal fan, I don't want him to start getting his confidence. But if this is now Nunez, because he's been scoring quite regularly recently. If this is him now starting to just get in that stride pattern, starting to think and get a bit more composure, then the questions that we will ask, because I don't think anyone doubted that it could be. It was how long is it going to take? And if he's getting it now, then you lot have got a serious weapon in your hands, because he does all the work, he does all the grafting. He's annoying for defenders. He's basically an attacking Romero.
Yeah, he's just raw, isn't he? Like, and that's the thing. Like, I think now, especially kind of the way football is going, everyone wants like the finished article straight away. Everyone wants everything to be polished and finesse, and like that's not how football works, innit? Like some people take a little bit longer to get into their stride.
How old is he?
24.
Okay.
Like he's still relatively young, and like I know, like I don't particularly like doing the whole goals and assist thing, but 24 goal contributions like all season, that's not bad in February.
It suits him there. You know?
It's not bad.
So how long is Jota going to be out for then? What's the
They're saying rest of the
prognosis?
season, bro.
Serious?
Nah, we don't know yet. No, we don't.
No, they're saying, yeah.
We don't
That
know.
would be
Wow, that
harsh,
is
bro.
huge. That is huge.
Yeah, 'cause he's been the one that's really stepped up while Salah was out. Like he just come in because he only came back from injury like when Salah went away, and then like he's scoring, assisting, like even like the assist he got yesterday. Like you can see how strong he is. Like I think just before that goal, he had like a little run, like a mazy run into the box. He gets strong, like he's holding people off, etc. So yeah, he'll be, and even Curtis Jones, they're saying that could be a long injury as well. So
that was part of his injuries in his early career, right?
Is
Curtis
that-
Jones, he had lots of injuries.
Yeah, but he just felt awkwardly on his ankle. Like it was a weird one. Like it was
Okay.
like pretty innocuous.
And
But-
Jota's injured quite often as well, isn't he?
yeah,
Quite-
he is, like,
quite often.
But yeah, when he played, he does the job. But Salah's back. And
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
let's
well,
say,
that's the thing, yeah.
So
He-
McAllister adds one. Nice little finish bottom corner. If I remember the goal correctly, that's the one that he got passed into him, Fizz, and
Salah fizzed
yeah.
it into him and he handled it.
That was-
Yeah,
that
dubbed the
was-
defender.
that was the attacking McAllister. That was Brighton McAllister there. And then Salah comes back. That defender. Number one, how did Salah get there before you?
Anticipation, innit? Like he got the instinct.
He looked like he was running with ankle weights. Then Salah muscles him off the ball, keep him at bay. Great finish, great forward play, but come on, man. Brentford manager must be tearing his hair out when he see that. Like, what are you doing? He
And
looked
then
like he was scared.
And
Like he
then
was scared of Salah.
the defender mishap
Yeah.
for Cody Gakpo's goal.
Yeah, love it.
They
Four
were
different
defending like
scorers,
Burnley.
yeah.
That was a good finish by Kakpo, though.
Yeah,
Very
it
good
was.
finish.
Yeah.
Composed for near
Yeah.
post. Let me slide that in.
10th goal of the season as well. So
Very good. Very good.
We're doing all right.
Then
Just
Tony-
because we didn't touch on it, I don't know if you was going to, but the Michael Owen comment about Nunez.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So for those that don't know, Michael Owen, to paraphrase, effectively said, "Look, fantastic finish, and it's a sort
What
of
do
a
you mean?
1 or 2 out of 10 finish, and if it's indicative of the composure that Nunez has now got, happy days. However, I would rather he decided to do a finish that is more likely to result in a goal more often and go around the keeper or slot it."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to dampen his light or dim his shine or whatever it is, and it's a great finish. But he would be better just making sure that 8 or
Up
9
your
times out
average
of
of
10.
scoring the goal, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just scoring the goal, right? Which caused a bit of varying different views between Liverpool fans. But I can see what he's saying.
What do you think about that as a striker?
No, I disagree completely.
Shock.
No, I think you should just score the goal. How does Mark Owen know what finish is better for Darwin Nunez? Nunez might not be good at what Mark Owen thinks is a good finish.
So
what you think?
So you're saying if you're 1-on-1 with a goalkeeper, a dink is your higher probability of scoring than slotting or going around the keeper.
It's different though, isn't it? In that moment, how do we know Darwin Nunez might not try to go around the goalie and missed?
No, but that's his point. He's saying get more proficient at the finishes that have a higher probability of scoring. That chip is not one of those, bro. It's not.
How do we know Darwin Nunez can't do that 100 times out of 100 times? We don't know that.
We've seen him play for the last year. We do know
but
that.
whether he can do it or not, the point, the fact of the matter still remains. Going round the keeper
and having an empty net
and has a higher probability of reward than a chip
from outside the box.
But he scored.
This is one of the best goal scorers in Premier League history.
Just score.
Ballon d'Or winner.
Offering this view, by the way.
Just score. And he scored.
No, wait. Let's take it a level down. He scored. Cool. What Michael Owen is saying, as we've given these lot pressure about, is get to a point where the finishes that most likely lead to a goal, you've got that on lock before you're trying to lob a keeper at 0-0 whilst you're almost in the box.
I would agree with Michael Owen if he missed.
Finish.
If he missed, then I would say, yep, you got every right to say that. But the guy scored.
Yeah, no, but he premised that in this week. He said, look, I'm glad he scored. And I hope that the confidence in choosing that finish means that now he's going to be cool. But I think the point he's making, and he's preempting
I think it's very valid.
Next week,
I think it's very
if he gets a slotters or he goes through 1-on-1 and he can't go around the keeper and put it in, he's going to be like, you see, this is what I was talking about.
Yep.
And it's true. You'd rather take 10 slots and go around the keeper than that one goal he scored yesterday, if you're a Liverpool fan.
Give him a break.
But we've all said it's a good goal. What Owen is saying is, going forward, I don't want you to basically get high off your own supply and think that, I can be doing the madness every time. Because you can't. You've shown us you can't. We've watched you for the whole season. You can't.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point that he made.
And again,
there's nothing wrong with it.
Bruv, and these days, everyone gets cynics in a twist, but bruv, does anyone qualified to talk about finishing? I mean,
and we know Owen loved going around keepers. Loved it,
mate.
And he would think a keeper as well. He was not afraid to do that.
He wasn't the best finisher. I've heard a lot of people say Fowler's a better finisher than Owen.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Fowler's a more natural finisher.
But they're both up there. But they're both,
that doesn't mean he wasn't one of the best.
Yeah.
I mean, Fowler was
both up there.
Fowler was next level, you know.
Yeah, Fowler's way.
Even though Owen tried to throw some shade the other day.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, of course I heard that. He's like, well, I was listening to it because
I like the way he did it there.
Yeah.
I like the way he did it there. It's like, well, you know, you just have to look at who the manager picks, you know? You just have to look at who the England manager picks.
But Fowler backed himself though, innit?
What is it?
He was just like, I understand what he's saying because if I'm asked the same question, I'm picking myself over Michael, innit?
To be fair, I think Owen was better than Fowler. I think that Liverpool fans go with Fowler because he's from Liverpool and he's the local guy and all that. But I reckon Owen was better.
I think, and again, I don't know for sure, but I just feel like from the outside looking in, it just looked like if Fowler, I don't want to say taking it more seriously, but if Fowler had
Owen's pace,
I don't even think he needed the pace, but I think he was nuts anyway. I just think if Fowler had,
you know what? Basically, Houllier, innit? Like Houllier preferred Owen to Fowler. I think if there was a manager,
were there two managers they both had?
Roy Evans and Gerard Houllier.
And I think they both preferred Owen.
Time. No, because when Roy Evans was the manager.
Yeah, because remember, Roy Evans was the manager, then they came in and done the co-manager for a little bit.
Which was weird.
What was that? What was that about?
Like proper. And then Houllier took over. And that's actually why Fowler left, because he kind of had a falling out with Houllier. But I think if there was a different manager other than Houllier, I think Fowler starts. But
what's your opinion? You didn't give your opinion.
I'll go Fowler. Like I think Fowler was the more natural finisher. Owen's pace helped him a lot in his career. And you saw after that hamstring injury, he wasn't quite the same.
But he still went on to Real Madrid and...
What did he do at Real Madrid?
What? Man scored 16, 17 goals off the bench. Are you all right? And in the league at that time, that wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
He was second top scorer in the league that season or something.
Yeah.
No.
What are you
Keep
talking
laughing.
about?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
It wasn't.
What are
It
you
wasn't.
talking about? Yeah.
Went to Real that time.
That's
16
rather
goals
greedy,
in a
though.
I'm not saying. I'm not
Yeah.
saying he was a washout, but he never went to Real Madrid and set the world. Like, I remember he came back after a year, innit? Like, come on.
but that was
because
more-
he wanted to come back because he
Yeah,
wasn't playing.
homesick and that. Yeah, that was more to do with
Bruv,
the
Did Real
culture.
Madrid even pick up the phone for Fowler? Did they dial that those numbers?
No.
I agree with Keith. Owen's pace massively helped him a lot. Don't get me wrong, he had an eye for goal.
Yeah.
He definitely had an eye
He
for
scored some
goal.
good goals for us.
But
Like, I'm not diminishing
that
him.
electric pace that he had.
You're doing what I do
Yeah, but
about
that's
Kyle
his-
Walker.
But that's his.
You're doing when I say, it's just his pace gets him back in situations.
But everyone knows that.
Yeah, but his pace is one of
His
things.
attributes, that's his attribute. You can't take that
against
away from him.
I can't believe I'm saying this.
I'm not
But-
using it against him. I'm just saying, like, natural ability against natural ability. Fowler was the better finisher.
Do you think there's anything in it? So the theory I was trying to get to is Fowler was one of the old school guys, right?
Mhm.
So he lived, his life outside of football in a certain way.
Mm.
Them time, the Wengers, the Houlets, etc. When they came in, if you weren't gonna pattern yourself professionally a certain way, you weren't gonna fit. Do you
Mhm.
think that played a part in it as well?
Probably.
Because
Yeah,
for
more
everything we
than
know, Owen again was that part of that new school that kind of did things a little bit different, etc.
Straight-laced, innit? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how, from an outside point of view, that's how I've always seen that transition. Like Fowler was just, I'm good, gonna turn up, I'm gonna do it. Really, and then man come in, nah, bro, you're not getting that out before you come to training the next day and all of that stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Big up Conor Bradley again, though, man. He looks like he's a serious player.
Yeah.
I think if he's at another Premiership team, he's nailing down the right back position, like a lower kind of Premiership team.
So what? Do you
I
think,
think
that
he's
he'll
locked
be?
it in.
Can
I
he
think-
be as a threat to Trent? Is that what you're saying? Could
I
he-
don't think it's a threat.
what
I
do you
think
mean?
it's an addition. I think he's going to lock it down. I think he's going to take that right back position. I think Trent's going to move centrally.
So that is a threat to him, and if he's
No,
taking,
not really.
he's
because
taking
Trent
that
will be
spot.
moving to another position. I
And
don't
he was
think-
even
what-
doing the inverted
So
himself.
what about the
on Saturday.
midfielders? What about the midfielders? And they're not gonna. Someone's dropping out in the midfield.
Well, Gravenberch is not exactly setting the world alight, and McAllister would rather be playing further forward. So.
No, but last 2 games Endo's played, he's been very good. So it's good having the problems. Like a lot of people say replacement, blah blah blah. Like have a squad in it.
Yeah.
Depth.
Have a squad.
Can I ask a question though? I don't want to be that guy in it.
Well, you're gonna be that guy.
And I just want to ask a question. How many games has Bradley played now?
3, 4?
No. He played 6,
5 or
6 or 7.
Okay.
And you've seen enough to say in another Premier League team.
100%.
Mm.
Book it.
Okay.
Easily.
Well, I'm just saying,
You know he gets one player of the month, right?
For who?
So-
The Premier League.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
So name me the player who won player of
No,
the month
wasn't
in
it
March
Jota?
last year.
Wasn't it Jota?
Bruv, what? No, well done for him. I'm happy for
player of the
him.
month.
Wasn't it
But-
Jota?
No, I swear,
No, I'm sure
he
it
won
was
the.
Jota.
So
Player of
Bradley
what
won
month?
like the
Not
P.
January.
Yeah, with January.
Bruv,
PFA player of the
How many
month. or
games
something
did he
like
We
that.
only played like 2 games, though, innit? There was 2 games because you had
He
FA
won
Cup.
some player of the month.
You had the
anyway.
winter break.
Yeah.
He
so
won
look,
player of the month with winter break.
I love seeing players come through, but just let them.
Oh, no, he was. No, Liverpool's men's player didn't.
No.
Oh, okay. So,
Oh,
Jota was the
all right.
actual
Oh,
Premier.
okay.
Ah, okay, so-
All right.
all right, cool.
On LiverpoolFC.com, yeah.
This guy.
And Jota
Don't
got the
just-
main award.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Like you should have. Listen,
So really, you should have won the Liverpool one as well. Then really,
Sentimentally, yeah. So don't get me wrong. I think he's cold. I think he's doing his thing. But just allow him, man. All this talk already. This guy's just allow him. Let him play.
No, but he's been good.
Last year.
No, but the thing is,
Yeah.
like, he's played well. Like, it's not like he's come in and been like, okay.
I'm not disputing that. But you're not just saying he's played well. You're now adding things to it. All right, any other Prem
Accolades, yeah,
team?
yeah.
All right, bruv, just let him play. It's been 6 games. We've seen worse. You know this as well. We've seen brothers play 20, 25 Premier League games, and we don't know where they are now. So, yeah. So just let him play. He looks. I think thing with him, he looks fearless.
Yeah, he looks
plays,
comfortable,
plays,
yeah.
and he makes decisions not out of
Good
fear,
decisions.
but out of
They're good
the right.
player.
Yeah.
I think
That's
Just
it.
leave it, man.
Yeah.
Don't start doing all that, bruv. Anyway, now to our favourite team, Manchester United. They won 2-1 versus Luton. Away at Luton Town. It's interesting before the game, and I always say we're becoming American sports, but I think we're here now because the stats thing now is just So before the game, everyone shared that they'd scored the same amount of goals and faced the same amount of shots. No one wanted to share the points. The important stat, right?
But Liverpool, Man, and I mean,
Luton and Man United.
Man United.
What?
Yeah,
Scored the same amount of
yeah.
goals. What they had before the game.
They had before the game.
Wow.
But they had vastly different points, right? So, and Haaland has scored another 2 goals. Scored it in the first minute. And in the 7th minute. I mean...
First 15 minutes killed Luton. Like, absolutely killed them. They couldn't get races, going. Yeah. And they were playing... Like, when did they get the second goal? Like, 60th minute?
7th minute.
So, sorry, no, when did Luton score? 17th? Yeah. Once they scored, I wouldn't say they controlled the game because Man United still had a few chances. Like, Garnacho had a one-on-one. Rashford had a couple chances where he could have played the ball through to the runners, but he took it on himself, etc. But Luton were just like, after they scored their goal, they were just in the game and they would feel unfortunate not to come away with something.
Those first 15 minutes is the best I've seen Man United play this season.
Really?
They were really, really, really good. They could have been 3-4-0 out of sight in those first 15 minutes. And as Keith says, the goal Luton got was against the run of play. It was the first time they went forward and it sort of changed the game from there on. I think that was hard. I can't blame him for that one. The guys got there first. The guys got there first. I thought that was a really good finish. A good header.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Nah, you can't. I don't think you can blame the goalie for that.
But to be fair, I mean, I didn't get to see the game, but your kind of breakdown of it reflects in the stats, right? 22 shots for Luton, 21 for Man United. Shots on target 4 for Luton, but 9 for Man United. Possession was 60% Luton, 41%.
Wow.
So, Luton made 517 passes, but United made 387. Man, I never thought I'd see this day. But they're getting a result where they counted. Haaland stepped up. That front three, the kind of Garnacho, Rashford, Haaland, people are talking about it coming together, but I've not seen enough of them to say that. I know Haaland's taking his chances, but people are talking about it coming together. What do you guys think? I think it's a bit premature to call it that.
I think it's the best front three they have. Granted, Anthony's the backup to that. I'm not sure if Martial's injured or whether he's just on the bench or whatever. So you can see what Ten Hag's trying to do. That's a young front three. Like Garnacho's 21 maybe. Haaland's 20. Rashford's not really young, but you can see what he's trying to do and trying to work the team around. I still think there's just bits missing and things they need to improve on. Like Casemiro on his day is really good, but I think he's becoming a bit of a liability. He could have got sent off today. Should have been sent off today.
Should have been sent off.
Yeah, discipline.
You still got Harry Maguire, who can give you the odd good performance, but again, he didn't have a good first half. He got hooked at half time. Johnny Evans is his replacement. But on the flip side, you got players like Kobe, who comes in. Like, I don't, unless he gets injured, he should be playing every game for Manchester United for the foreseeable future. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Like,
even at 18 years old?
Bruv, he's different level.
Like,
bruv.
like John was saying with kind of Bradley, don't kind of hype them up. I think with certain players, you can see the natural ability and quality, and
especially when they've played more than 6 games.
I think he's only played about 11, so it's not much difference.
Almost double.
not much difference.
Cool.
I think you got to look at players like him, see what he can offer.
Yeah.
I'm not saying build a team around him, but say like, right, this is a natural talent that you have. What can you bring in to complement him to make him kick on even further?
I hate the fact that you're getting to the point where he has to play every game. It's just bad. It's just bad. You know? And don't get me wrong, if you're good enough, you play. But let's be honest, he's really good. He's very, very good. But if they had a midfield operating at the level it needed to be challenging for top 4,
you wouldn't need him.
I don't think you would need to be playing him every game. He's playing because he's good enough. But part of the reason why he's playing that's because they have to. They have to play him.
Yeah.
You know?
But you go look at the other options like Ericsson, McTominay. Yeah. player.
Yeah, I think having to hook Casemiro and Maguire at half time.
Yeah, they're both booked.
Yeah, he
decent,
should have been sent off. Casemiro definitely should have been off. I'm surprised it was a poor decision by the ref. What did you think, Keith?
Yeah, 100%. Like I think he bottled it. Like the first one was harsh, and I think he kind of, when they even it out in it, like, oh yeah, maybe he shouldn't have been booked. If you're giving him a booking for that, you got to give him a booking for the second one. But yeah, on Luton, I think of all the three teams that came up from last year, they just look the least fearless. They're just playing good football at times. Like we said earlier, challenging the bigger teams when they play them. And yeah, they look most likely to stay up.
And Ross Barkley, another good performance from him. I thought it was really good again.
Sambi as well, had played well.
Yeah,
Sambi did.
I mean, as it stands now, Luton is 17th in the table, 1 point ahead of Everton. And both Luton and Everton have a game in hand over Burnley, who are 6 points behind Everton.
Yeah. What's interesting, sorry to interject, someone from Luton, it might be a sporting director or something or equivalent, was on TalkSport earlier, and he was saying that at the training ground they've got different variations of the table. So they've got a variation with Everton getting their points back, 9 points back, to 8, blah blah blah. So they're saying the way they're operating is this is what we've got to do.
If Everton win their appeal.
If Everton win their appeal, which I thought was quite a good way of looking at things.
And if Roy's not careful, I mean, he's only 4 points ahead of Luton, Crystal Palace. If they're not careful, there's enough games to
well, it's Everton Palace tomorrow, isn't it? That's a huge game.
Yeah.
Forest and Palace are on 24 points. So that win yesterday was big for Forest. And but Forest have got a game in hand. So yeah, it's throwing up that nicely down there. I mean, as much stick as Isaac gave Luton at the beginning. I think it's a good story. It is a good story. They've come up. They've been unfancied, but it took them a while to get into. But they made a good go of it. And
they have, man. It's been positive, and it shows that you can come up from the Championship and not just be fodder.
You got Liverpool next. Anfield.
Yeah, Anfield. What's that, Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Blimey. Then they've got City at home in the FA Cup. Then they got Villa at home. Okay, then they got Villa at home, then Palace, then Bournemouth, then Forest.
Okay, well, those are the 3 games there.
Yeah.
Palace, Bournemouth, and Forest.
Yeah. Where they got to make stuff happen. Then they got Spurs, Arsenal, then Bournemouth again.
If you look at the table now, it's really sort of set into the sections now of what teams are going for.
Yeah,
there's only about 3 or 4 teams in the middle there that ain't really got nothing to pay for. The Fulhams, Bournemouth, that's about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I fully agree. Just as a quick side note, just wanted to touch on the going-ons in the Bundesliga. Because this Harry Kane...
They lost again.
Bruv.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. I feel sorry for him, you know. Nah,
3 losses on the spin.
I feel sorry for him.
Did he get sacked?
Tuchel's going.
He's going.
Come on, bro.
He's not going to be there beyond the end of the season.
They don't mess around. They will swing the axe quickly.
Tuchel's going.
But to go there,
the thing is, do they do it now to salvage the season?
Do it right now. Like, I won't be surprised before the Champions League game.
Is it flicked?
He's gone.
Because I think Germany want flick in it after
Nagelsmann,
after the Euros.
Yeah,
but he would be like the most like Bayern appointment, wouldn't he? Like so.
Yeah. And it's tricky now because you made some characteristically un-Bayern signings. So if you're now bringing a Hansi Flick, someone that is he gonna have Dyer? Is he gonna allow Kane to be dropping and doing quarterback?
Was Flick there before?
Yeah.
So that's one thing that they've gone through all the German managers, haven't they, Bayern?
Yeah, but that's what they do. Isn't it? Like, there's no other.
Gone through all of it.
Really,
and then bring them back.
I think Pep and Carlo.
But actually, just on the whole German, the guy who's potentially coming in for Hodgson at Crystal Palace.
Yes,
he was on Bayern radar when he won the Europa League with Frankfurt. But then he had after that season he had a bit of a bad spell. So
So I mean, look, the Harry Kane debate rolls on. There was those in the camp of, look, you can score as many goals as you want, but if you don't win anything, you're always going to pale into significance with all the people that actually won stuff. Their goals meant stuff. So he finally leaves Spurs. He goes to Bayern, which is supposed to be a dead cert for the title. Good
Not
chance to
really.
win the Champions League.
Not really.
What?
Higher probability.
Higher
than Spurs.
probability.
No,
Yeah,
they're
dead
dead
set.
cert. They've won the league 10 years out of 10.
But they shouldn't
They
have
won
won
it 10 out of 10.
They shouldn't have won it last year.
But they won it 10 out of 10.
I know, but
It's a
they
dead
shouldn't have
cert.
won it
Wait,
last year.
hold on. So even if you take out last year, they've won the league 9 times in the last 10 years, and they're not like a dead cert.
But think about it. The years before that,
Yeah,
they all had who leading the line?
Lewandowski.
Yeah, that's
Not
fine.
Not
But you're
all the
Harry
years.
Kane.
Not all the years.
And he's gone there and he's
Most of them.
proved that
No,
he's done
literally most of
for
them.
most
No,
of
but
it,
he
for like
left.
8
He left a couple of years ago.
No, he left like beginning of last
years.
year.
Yeah, left the beginning last year. So for that whole 9-year run, he was there.
And last year
But
they had
what about
Sadio
when he was
Mane.
at Dortmund? Bayern was still winning the league, and
Yeah.
Lewandowski was at Dortmund.
I agree. Yeah, it's true.
No, but didn't he win it with Dortmund?
What, with Klopp? He didn't play for Klopp, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
But that would have been over 10 years ago.
Yeah, that'd have been a long time ago, bro.
Yeah, the last team to win the league was Dortmund.
Yeah, but
Outside of Bayern.
10 years, bro. This decade. Like
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that doesn't make them
Higher
a dead
probability.
cert.
Okay.
It wasn't
That's
there's
a
higher
dead
probability.
cert.
highest probability of any league, any of the top
Anywhere.
5 leagues.
Yeah.
The only time they were dead cert was under Pep Guardiola.
Controversial. I don't know. Either France or Germany got the highest probability of that team winning the league. He goes there, he breaks scoring records, and now they need an 8-point swing. No, 9-point swing to win the league.
I'm going to say this right now.
Yeah.
Harry Kane dropping into midfield is killing Bayern Munich.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't care about all these other tactics or nothing
Yeah,
else.
I agree.
Harry Kane dropping in and picking up the ball off the centre back is bruv. Because then what happens? He picks the ball up, he turns, he passes, then he has to bust the gut to get back into the box to be an outlet to receive the ball.
But he scored 29 goals.
Oh, get out of here, man.
No, what are you talking about? He scored
no, no,
29
but
goals.
Well,
We're in
get out of
February.
here, but
No,
that
no, no,
doesn't
but
mean
that's-
anything if
when-
you're losing, if you're 9 points behind top.
When you watch
first
certain
place.
games and the way they set up against it, because it was working well when Azak's point, he's
Brand
dropping
new.
in, he's spraying out to Sane or Coman or whatever it is.
Mhm.
But bruv, in the last, I want to say 8 weeks, yeah, it's no coincidence that the results have started to waver because and I've watched a few of those games, the way they set up against them now is different. Don't get me wrong, other players in that team are not doing what they should be doing.
100%.
Yeah.
He's moving.
I
nuts.
thought the problems was at the back.
No,
I
My
think
man
as well,
keeps
like,
getting-
Sane-
my man keeps
Sane
getting
hasn't
sent
scored
off
in like 15 games or something like that.
Sane ain't scored since October or something.
Yeah, like it's a
Kingsley
problem
Coleman,
all
Kingsley
over.
Coleman's
Yeah,
not
it's all over.
he's
So-
not as
Kimmich
electric
hasn't been
as he was.
playing well.
Yeah.
So what Isaac said is definitely a point, and they've notified it. But yeah, lots of other players aren't playing to their potential. But I don't think their attack is as fluid in the way it used to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what I would say. But I just think, I mean, it'll be a good social media story if he doesn't win anything by
The best striker in the world is picking up the ball off the centre back, turning, and then trying to act like he's
Oh, he
paired.
doesn't go that far back. Off the centre back.
He has done like he has like it's not often, but that's
mad.
But do you think that's because Nagelsmann was there at the start of the season, right?
He wasn't doing that at the start of the season.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I think, do you think because Tuchel saw him do a certain way at Tottenham, he's like allowing him to
No, but Harry Kane didn't play for Nagelsmann.
didn't?
No. Tuchel was Tuchel.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
But he
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
doing that at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Harry Kane's first game of the season was the Super Cup.
Yeah.
Remember, he
Yeah,
came on as a
sorry,
sub
yeah.
and they
Yeah,
got
no,
slapped
no,
3-0.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then they got knocked out the German
It was
Cup
so
by a
stupid.
third division.
So
team.
why have they not told Kane that we need you more up front? Because even for England, he doesn't do that as
No,
far.
he does.
He's
He's always
not,
in the- he's
not
always in
as
the
far
midfield.
back as
He
what he was
does.
doing for
Nah,
Tottenham.
he's always in the centre
Not-
circle for England.
not
Always.
Always.
No pun
But
intended.
why? What about the other players? Why are they not bombing with
No, they
England?
do.
when he goes, they bomb football.
No, they
You drag
do.
the Sterlings and the Rashfords
No,
and all that.
They do.
They
That's,
go and pass.
that's why a
him.
lot of his early assists at Bayern was that literally he's
Yeah.
turning.
So why is
aiming
that
at
not
Sane.
working anymore then?
Because they figured it out.
Sane's dropped
They're not
off, but also a lot of teams have figured it out, bro. A lot of teams, and that's why they're now everyone's looking at Tuchel rather than the players themselves, saying, "Well,
Yeah.
you asked for Kane, you asked for Dyer, you asked for certain people. What's going on there? You've got some of the greatest talents in European football at the moment. You got Musiala. Do you know what I mean?
And then Thomas Muller come out and said, look, we're training like we're the best team in the world. And then we're getting on the pitch and looking like we don't know how to kick ball.
Really?
I saw the interview. Yeah, I saw the
Oh yeah, he
interview
can say
afterwards.
that though.
Yeah,
He
that
can
was
get
after the
away
Leverkusen game, wasn't it?
with that. Yeah, he can get
He
away
said,
with
look, Leverkusen play like they mean it. They
Yeah.
come with intention. We just, when on the other hand, we're
I
just...
think Bayern will still win it though. To be fair.
Nah.
You know
What,
what?
the league?
Hey, listen, before this
can't see it.
weekend,
Mm.
5 points. I was like, yeah,
Mm.
they're gonna get it back to a scenario. Now, 9
they-
point swing.
I can
They look
imagine a Dortmund that last year.
Nah,
Similar.
but have you watched Leverkusen?
Leverkusen
Leverkusen
on
are
Spur. Watch that.
balling, like
Well, they haven't lost a game, so
Alonso's
they
got-
could do
Alonso's
invincible.
tactics.
in
They could do
in
invincible.
any competition. They haven't lost a game in any competition this season. Like that's how
Alonso's
good they've been.
tactics
They're not
are
even league
nuts.
invincibles. They're just invincible. That's just nuts. I don't get it.
As I said, I don't want to buck them in the Europa League yet, man. Like,
Of the 8 points ahead, what's that? Yeah, so they got 14 games to go.
And Bayern need them to lose 3.
And if I
and they have to win.
Or every
and then
single
they
game.
have to win as well. So they got the cushion of being able to lose 3 games and Bayern still have to do what they got to do. And if I look at their fixtures, they don't play. They got to play Dortmund away. They don't play Bayern again. Nothing.
I think it's wrapped up.
Like there'd have to be a spectacular collapse or some serious injuries. They play Dortmund away. Let me see how many of the top 6 they play again. But bruv, it's not looking good. Harry, the banner
And
is
you
coming
got
your
and
way.
you got to think about
The
it.
banner is coming your way.
Beating Bayern and having that points cushion, this is where now it becomes a mental thing. What you touched on earlier. We have a 9 point, we have an 8 point lead. We don't really have to. We don't have to play you lot again. We just got to play with everyone else.
Just do our job, innit?
Just do our job. We've done it so far. Just keep doing it. And now the confidence of the players as well keeps building. With each win, the confidence just keeps getting better and better. Grimaldo,
Frimpong.
Xhaka, Frimpong, Wirtz, Boniface, they're all balling.
Do you
What I
think
will
in the
say
summer?
is-
Do you think in the summer that they get a lot of players
Yeah,
poached?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
The team gets
Yeah.
broken
Well,
up.
it depends what Alonso does. Like if Alonso stays, which is looking unlikely because other than Liverpool, there seems to be other teams floating around.
Yeah.
I think if he stays, then I think the players will stay.
Yeah,
Bayern
and
are
they could do a
gonna
little
come
dynasty thing, innit?
Bayern are going to come knocking.
Yeah, yeah, that's what Bayern.
That's
do.
what they always do.
Take
Oh,
their
you
first
think
blood.
you're nice?
Yeah.
Come.
So the only thing I would say is, yeah, in the last 6 games, they have to play 3 of the top 6.
Ooh.
2 of them are away.
But
That's the only thing I would say. But I still expect them to win.
So
it.
they've
But
got to
those-
lose 2 of those.
those teams haven't really been as good as they have previously. So Leipzig haven't really been as great this season. Union Berlin haven't been as great as like
No, so
previous
Eintracht
seasons.
Frankfurt, Dortmund, and Stuttgart.
I think they built enough lead
Yeah, I
to
agree.
kind of
I agree.
to see it home.
I agree. Boy, so yeah, there's a few narratives.
one to
this
keep.
season.
Yeah, one to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, most definitely.
Imagine Harry Kane. they said, Kingsley Commons won the league.
Every year.
Every
innit?
year
Yeah.
in your professional
career.
career.
Mm.
He's won a league title. Right?
That's mad.
They said
It's about 10 years as well.
one
isn't it?
thing, like how they do with boxing when 2 undefeated boxers, someone's always got to go.
Yeah.
They were saying, so either Harry Kane wins his first team trophy, or Kingsley Common has his first trophyless season.
That's mad.
Not
You know.
good.
He's
That
won the
is
league
mad.
10 years running.
Mate, Kingsley Coman is the
And
definition of talk
he's
to me
won the
nice.
league even longer than that because
Yeah,
he won
with
it.
PSG.
He won it PSG.
Juve.
Yeah.
He's won the league.
Yeah.
He's won the league. What, 14 years in a row?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
That is madness.
Plus World Cup. He was in our World Cup squad, no?
Yeah, most probably.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Just going back to that Glasner fella for Crystal Palace, what do you
Yeah.
think about the public knowledge of him potentially coming in before Hodgson's been sacked or lightly sacked? Is it just football now? Because like it's not the first time it's happened,
The world we live in.
but it was just like it was on. I think it was Thursday.
Mm.
I think it was. It was just such an open secret that he was coming in and Roy going to get sacked, and then unfortunately he fell ill. like,
Yeah,
the day
I
of-
think it's
yeah.
I think it's normal. It's just unfortunate that it's Roy. And then he's falling ill. So it looks like there's a cause and effect there. But most jobs we see it, this person's in the frame, bookies have closed betting on this person or that person. So it's just unfortunate. You'd have hoped in that situation that maybe it could have been kept under wraps a little bit better, but that no one was expecting him to fall ill. But then you would argue it's Roy, give him a little bit more respect, like do it a certain way. But
Yeah.
has that been confirmed though?
No, like I'm not sure what's happened. Like even with him falling
I
ill.
don't
I know they
think you
said
can. I don't think you can while he's ill and everything in it. So yeah, it's just a shame.
Because I was seeing reports that he'd already
How
been
you get
sacked.
fired on your day off?
I was seeing reports that he'd already been fired.
Yeah,
that
that
was
quite
what surprised me.
conflicting. I feel,
And then after, then I'm seeing the things about him falling ill. That was what was worrying me. That was what was worrying me. So I was like, wow. But they got a game tomorrow, right? So
big game as
we
well.
need to get some kind of update. All right. Well, we'll be back next week with another episode. Again, please subscribe, like, leave more comments. Thanks for rocking with us to episode 50. And yeah,
It's nearly a year.
yeah,
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, been enjoyable,
Crazy.
lads. Been enjoyable.
Most definitely. All right, peace.
Peace.
Peace.